the Hear Her Speak readers. I'm Vaishnavi Sri Rama, and I'm a content creator for the magazine. And I write articles and do art pieces for our monthly issues. And I will let our other writers introduce themselves right now.
Hi, I am Roshni Ednor, and I am also a content creator for this magazine. And I'm an editor, and sometimes I write quizzes, sometimes I write articles. And I also like to write a monthly positive message.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I mostly write articles, but I've begun to write some more poems. And in addition to that, I'm also an editor for the magazine.
All right, thank you guys so much for your introductions. So today we're going to be doing our October Woman of the Month interview. And for our interview, we chose Lauren, or the founder of the magazine, because we've all seen her as an excellent reader. An excellent leader for our team, and she's just put in so much work and so much energy into making this magazine come alive, and we really appreciate that. So we wanted to ask Lauren a few questions about the magazine and also about herself, so you guys can get to know her a little bit better. So without further ado, let's get started with the first question. So Lauren, what inspired you to start Hear Her Speak magazine?
I think what inspired me to start it was I was just sitting on my phone randomly one day on Instagram, and I had been thinking of starting a magazine for a little while. And actually, before quarantine, I had talked to one of our other writers, Suhaila, about it. I was like, I want to make this magazine for women of color and just women, period, to just uplift them and inspire them, and to be something that we can create just articles and poetry and short stories. And so then, quarantine happened. So it didn't really come back into my mind until July. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And so I just put it on my story. I was like, who wants to help me with this? And all you awesome people were like, I want to help you. And it just kind of started from there. So I think it was just really just wanting to create a story for all of us, or a way that we can just uplift other women, and especially women of color, because I think we just really needed it at that time with everything going on with Black Lives Matter movement, with the pandemic, with just all the unrest in our country and in our world. So I think that's really what inspired me, just like everything that was going on, and just something positive to uplift everyone.
That's awesome. And where do you hope to see Hear Her Speak in a few years?
I really, really hope that it ends up becoming extremely popular, all across the country, hopefully across the world, just to uplift young women, just kind of like what our mission statement is to uplift and inspire young women, to be able to speak their minds and know that their voice matters, and to uplift them in a way that is positive, that is not, trying to shame them in any way or make them feel that they need to be a certain way, because all women are just so beautiful, whether you're cis or trans or non-gender conforming people. We just need to be able to get to that point where we are literally just celebrating everyone, because we totally deserve that.
Thank you for that message, Lauren. You're very inspirational, as all of our readers can tell.
Aww.
So, what do you consider to be success, not just in terms of Hear Her Speak, but in general for yourself?
That's a really good question. I think success is when you're able to do something, and know that people are actually benefiting from it and learning from it and using it in their everyday life. It's not really, I don't think success is by how much money you have or by how many followers you have. It's about the message that you're trying to spread. And that is the biggest thing that we do with Hear Her Speak. We want to make sure we are putting out content that is uplifting, that's fun, that's entertaining, that's positive. And so I think when you are able to make an impact like that, I think that's really what success is, because you're truly putting out something that has purpose and meaning. So I think success is definitely um, being able to accomplish that in everything that you do.
Yeah, and I think it's really good that you tied the definition of success into like um, doing things for your community and for yourself rather than just monetary gain. And you mentioned that success is like putting out a good message. So, what is that message for Hear Her Speak that you want to give to your readers and your audience?
I really want to put out the message of just we hold so much power in what we say, what we do, who we follow, who we look up to. We have so much power in that, and especially in just again with what we say every single day. And so I think when Hear Her Speak, we are using things that mean something to us in order to create something that other people can relate to and other people can identify with, because a lot of times, especially us as women of color, majority of our staff being women of color, we for some reason are continuously just told to shut up and told to be quiet, and that is not okay. And so I think with Hear Her Speak, we're taking things that for some reason have been taken away from us and being able to reclaim it in a way that is uplifting and relatable, and a way that people can identify with what truly being heard means. So I think that's really what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. Because in my mind, that does not make any sense.
It does. That was a wonderful message. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, I mean, I guess I am a college student, a freshman, and I'm in the honors program at my college and a leadership fellow. I really love to read a lot. I've been obsessed with reading, and it was also something that I got obsessed with circa middle school because I was bullied for being someone who made straight A's and was bullied for being a Black girl who enjoyed to write and enjoyed to read, and actually called another race because I did that and I enjoyed that. And so reading has just kind of been like my solace in instances that like life has just been a lot, and I've just been through a lot with my family, from my parents having a lot of medical problems in the past. But reading has definitely been like my saving grace in a lot of those instances. And I love to write. I'm writing a couple of novels at the moment, and of course writing for the magazine. So I really enjoy doing that. I love hanging out with my friends, you guys. Love hanging out with my sister. She's literally my best friend. Um, and I love BTS. I love K-pop. I love K-dramas. I love Netflix and things to waste my time because I enjoy doing that and like to be resting and whatnot. So yeah.
Thanks for telling us a little bit about yourself, Lauren. I've Here's a fun fact. I've known Lauren since middle school, and we've been friends. Like, we separated, like, physically in high school because we went to different schools, but I was still her friend throughout it, and so I'm glad to, like, talk to her on a more consistent basis again. So, anyways, many of your articles and activities from the magazine have to do with real-world issues and topics. How do you choose which ones to include within the issue?
Oh, that's a really good question. It really depends on how I'm feeling. Because I was actually going to write 2 more articles for this issue, but I was like, I'm going to hold it off for next issue. It depends, I guess, on the climate of what's happening in the world. I try to make sure things are as current as they possibly can be. For instance, writing the importance of voting article last month because that was kind of like the height of the presidential campaign and just the elections going on, or presidential elections, what I meant to say. And so I think I try to make sure that I'm talking about issues that truly are important to be talking about at that time. And I hope in the future that I can create articles to inform people of other things that are happening within our community, and within our country and within our world that aren't being talked about on national news sources and things like that. And so, and especially with an article that I was talking about with just the importance of talking about Black Lives Matter, as a Black person, it would have been really stupid if I hadn't talked about it, because it's something that I've been living through for so many years, my whole life, to be honest. And every time a Black person is killed or hurt or harmed by someone for no reason, and especially a police officer, it's extremely important to me that I talk about why it's important to care about it and why it's important to make sure that things are being done about it. Because being able to have a platform and to be able to talk about things that matter, that's more meaningful than writing about things that don't matter. And especially, it's just important to me to make sure that I'm using my platform for that. I'm not using it to just talk about random stuff. To just make sure that everything that I write about actually has meaning and is going to influence someone in a positive way and maybe inform them about something they didn't know about in the past.
Yeah, I think it's really empowering that you choose to put in like the most relevant stories within your issues. And with everything going on this year, I feel like I can't even imagine how hard it is to like kind of delegate which issues go in like which month and or which articles go in which month and like talk about those. But I know like we have a monthly theme as well that don't necessarily have to do with like the stories that we talk about. So how do you choose that?
Well, the first one, which was diversity, I was like, well, we're going to start off with what we're trying to talk about in this magazine, because it's extremely important to emphasize the importance of diversity, because we're in a world where there has been a standard of how everyone should be, and that standard is unreal. It's this fantasy that for some reason people think it's okay to have that, and it's not. We're all different races and ethnicities and genders and have different identities, orientations. We all, there are some people who we love different people. We love the same people at the same time, or same sex people who are the same sex as us. And so I thought it was so important to talk about diversity in the overarching idea of that, because we can't just throw it under the rug and say, oh yeah, yeah, cool, I care about diversity. It means so much more than that, and we still kind of talk about it in every issue because it's so important to uplift others. But in terms of how I figure out the themes of the month, it just is basically something that I think we should talk about, different topics that are either talked about on a regular basis or issues that aren't really talked about as much. And especially the reason I had diversity was because, again, everything that was going on in our country and our world, in terms of our political climate, and with Black Lives Matter, it was so important to have diversity there. And then last month, just talking about coming of age, because we were all going through that time in which we're growing up, becoming more mature, becoming adults, and that was important to talk about and stress for this month, different things that we all go through on a regular basis.
That's awesome. And I know that in the upcoming months, we also have like a bunch of different themes that are very relevant, and the readers should be very excited to tune into that. And to shift to a more lighthearted note, what is a country that you would love to visit post COVID?
There's so many. I really genuinely do not know. Because there are so many,
Say
so
multiple
many
if you want.
countries. Okay, thank God. I definitely want to go to South Korea, just to be able to see where my babies are from and like go around there to go to all their different hometowns. And also I would really love to go to England and Italy and France, all of those different countries, and definitely some Spanish speaking countries as well, because I just really want to go to those different places and immerse myself in a culture that highlights Spanish speaking.
So, from this point forward, we're going to switch to the Hear Her Speak tradition, and we're going to ask you a couple of rapid fire questions, Lauren.
Yay!
So, what's your favorite cheese?
I really don't know. I don't really like cheese.
We gotta bring it
So
up. Like he told us not to, but we were gonna put it in.
I'm gonna say, I guess it's a toss-up between cheddar and mozzarella, I guess. I don't know.
Parmesan.
All right, what's your favorite song, Lauren?
Oh gosh. I genuinely do not have one. I love so many songs in my life. My go-to is probably like Halo by Beyonce or Irreplaceable by Beyonce. Um, yeah, I have too many. I cannot. That's the one I can never answer.
Okay, so this next question, I know we said more lighthearted. This one's a bit serious, so I'm going to need you to actually think about it.
Oh no.
How- Lauren, this is serious.
Okay.
How much cacao do you like in your chocolate? I would like an exact percentage if possible. Not if I would like an exact percentage. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't even think about that when I eat chocolate or drink hot chocolate. So, I don't know. I guess a fair amount. I guess a little more than 50%, I guess.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing.
That's a satisfactory answer.
Okay. So, do you like do you prefer chocolate or candy, and why?
Oh, I prefer candy because I love just like things that are more fruity, I guess you could say. And this is funny because Amber hates fruity stuff. She doesn't even eat chocolate now. But yeah, definitely if I can eat sweet tarts or Skittles or Nerds, I would definitely would choose that over chocolate any day.
All right, what is your favorite amusement park? And it could be anywhere in the country.
Oh, Walt Disney World, period.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
It's either vanilla or caramel. Salted caramel.
Salted caramel ice cream. Solid choice. Solid choice.
Solid. And finally, what is your current favorite TV show?
Gosh, I'm going to say Family Matters because I watch that every single day. And it is literally a show that just makes me laugh and smile all the time because I love Steve Urkel and I love Steve and Laura. And so, yeah, it's probably Family Matters at the moment.
All right, well, those are all the questions that we had for you. Thank you so much for talking to us about yourself and also the magazine. I hope that to all the readers, they were able to get to know you more and know our message and our magazine a little bit more. So thank you again for your time and for speaking to all of us. And we really appreciate everything that you've done for us so far, Lauren.
Oh, thank you guys. I love you guys so much. All right.